Good morning, students. Let us continue with our next topic with Unit 8 graphical models is hidden macro model. So first let us see the key takeaways for today's section. First we will have a brief introduction about macro models. Then we'll be studying about hidden macro models. Then we'll be studying about the various examples under macro model and hidden macro model. And we'll be seeing the advantages and disadvantages of HMM, that is hidden macro model. So hidden macro model is basically a stochastic process which has a set of states, and there is a transition between the states, and a current state has to be known, that is basically the Markov property. So HMM is very useful in various applications like prediction of the next text which is going to occur up in your application or even in your mobile. Whenever you type anything, normally the next word can be predicted by using this one. So it is very useful in prediction and text classification and various other applications also. So let us see more about HMM. So Markov model firstly is a stochastic process and it has a number of states which are going to be finite, and it is the probabilistic transition between the states always exists here. A transition is always a change between the state, and it is going to be probabilistic here, and the next state is basically determined only by the current state. So this is a Markov property. So this is it about the Markov model. So let us see the components which are belonging to Markov chain. So you basically have a set of n states that is defined as Q, which is equal to Q1, Q2, so on, Qn. So they are going to be n states. Then there is a transition probability matrix that is basically defined as A equal to A11, A12, so on up to AM1 or Mn. So this is a transition probability matrix A, and each ij representing the probability of moving from state I to state j, and the state is basically defined as summation of j equal to 1 to n, aij equal to 1 for every I and j. And then you have an initial probability distribution that is defined by pi is equal to pi 1, pi 2, so on up to pi n, and these are defined over the states. Pi I is the probability that the Markov chain will start in the state I, and some states j may have a probability of pi j equal to 0, meaning that they cannot be in the initial state. Also you have defined summation of I equal to 1 to n, pi I equal to 1. So these are basically the components of Markov chain. Now let us see what is HMM, that is hidden Markov model. So this is also a probabilistic model, and that is frequently used for studying hidden patterns. Hidden patterns may be in an observed sequence or a set of observed sequence. So it is basically a statistical model that can be used to describe the evolution of observable events that depend on the internal factors which are not directly observable. Hidden Markov model is also a stochastic process as we discussed, and it also has a finite number of states. There is a probabilistic transition between these states, and next state is determined only by the current state, that is basically the Markov property, and we are unsure which particular state we are in. So the current state basically emits an observation. Now hidden Markov model also is specified by certain components, that is a set of n states which is defined as q equal to q1, q2 up to qn, and a transition probability matrix is defined, that is A equal to A11, Aij, 1j, and so on up to An. So where each Aij represents the probability of moving from state I to state j, that is defined as summation of j equal to 1 to n, and aij equal to 1 for every I. And then we have a set of a sequence of observations, that is T. sequence of the observations, and each one is drawn from a vocabulary V equal to V1, V2, so on up to V3, right? So that is basically defined as O equal to O1, O2, so on up to OT, where T is basically a sequence of observations. And then we have a sequence of observation likelihood that is termed as or also called as emission probabilities, that is defined as V equal to V1 O1. So this is basically expressing the probability of observations, O1 being general from the state 1 or OI being generalized or generated from state I. And then we have an initial probability distribution pi equal to pi 1 so on up to pi n, and these are defined over the states, and pi I is the probability that the Markov chain will start in the state I. Some states may have pi j equal to 0, stating that or meaning that they cannot be in initial states, and also summation of I equal to 1 to n of pi I equal to 1. So this was about the components of hidden Markov model. Now let us see an example of Markov model. Here you can see there are two states, that is rain and dry, and probability is defined for the transition, that is moving from rain to dry, 0.7 probability is specified, and transiting from dry to rain, 0.2 probabilities to specify, and rain self state, that is self transition, moving from rain to rain is defined as 0.3, and moving from dry to dry is defined as 0.8. So these are the various probabilities that are defined for the Markov model. And as I told you, there are two states, that is rain and dry, and the transition probability is represented as P of rain being in the rain state, that is 0.3, and probability of dry from rain is defined as 0.7, and probability of rain to dry is defined as 0.2, that is from dry to rain, and probability of dry to dry is defined as 0.8. And the initial probabilities are specified as, for probability of rain is equal to 0.4 and probability of dry is equal to 0.6. So this is how the probabilities for a Markov model can be defined. This is an example of hidden Markov model. So basically extra two states are defined here as low and high, and the various probabilities as we discussed in the previous slide are specified here. So from low to low it is basically 0.3, and from high to high it is basically 0.8, and from low to high it is 0.7, and from high to low it is basically 0.2. So like that, various other probabilities are defined for the hidden Markov model. Now this is an example of hidden Markov model. So you have two states, as I told you, low and high. These are basically the atmospheric pressure and two observations, that is rain and dry, right? And transition probabilities are defined like from probability of low to low is 0.3, and probability of high to low is basically 0.7, and probability of low to high is basically defined as 0.2. So there are various other probabilities defined like this. You can just have a look at the content. Then there are certain calculations of observation that can be done for the sequence probability. Now suppose we want to calculate a probability of sequence of observations, like say in our example from dry and rain. So we are considering all the possibilities of the hidden sequence, right, hidden state sequence. So probability of dry and rain is equal to probability of dry, rain and low comma low plus probability of dry, rain plus low and high plus probability of dry and rain high comma low, probability of dry comma rain, high comma high. So all the probabilities are considered here, that is low to low, low to high, high to low and high to high. Now which basically where the first term is defined as probability of dry comma rain of low comma low equal to the sequence of observations, and the probability is defined like probability of dry comma rain with low comma low, probability of low comma low equal to probability of dry low, probability of rain low and probability of low with probability of low given low. So that is defined as 0.04 into 0.04 into 0.6 into 0.4 into 0.3. So this is how the value of first term can be calculated. Similarly, you can calculate the values for other terms. Now, let us see about the applications of Markov model. So, one of the major and important applications of Markov model is the statistical language model, and which are probability distribution over sequence of words. So, language model can be used for several things such as the following, that is sentence completion, data compression, text classification, and automatic essay writing. Now, sentence completion is one of the major applications of Markov model, and a language model can predict the next word given the previous word in a sentence. So, this can be used to reduce the amount of typing required, which is particularly important for disabled users. Like for example, specifically David Markley's Dasher system or users of mobile devices. So you can see in your mobile, whenever you write a word, the next word which you commonly use or which is commonly associated with the previous word is there in the suggestion. So this is how a sentence completion project can be used with mobile, where a Markov model could be used. Then data compression is another application, and any density model can be used to define an encoding scheme. It basically uses an encoding scheme. Compressions always use encoding scheme. So this is by assigning some short code words to the more probable strings. And the more accurate the predictive model, the fewer number of bits are required to store the data. Now, text classification is also another application of Markov model, and any density model can be used as a class conditional density and hence turned into a generative classifier. So note that using 0 gram class conditional density, that is only 0 gram or unigram statistics can be used here. Unigram would mean where only a single word could be used, so would be equivalent to a Naive-Bayes classifier. So this is where it can be compared with Naive-Bayes classifier. Then you have automatic essay writing also as one of the major applications of Markov model. Now these are the other applications of hidden Markov model. You have automatic speech recognition, you have activity recognition, part of speech tagging, gene finding, protein sequence alignment. So these are some of the major applications of hidden Markov model. There are a lot of advantages of HMM, hidden Markov model. Firstly, underlying theoretical basis, it's much more sound, it is very clear to understand, it is very elegant and easy to understand. So the theoretical basis used in HMM is very clear and sound. So it is easier to implement and analyze using HMM. And HMM taggers are very simple to train. They just need to complete or compile counts for the training corpus. This performs relatively well. Over 90% performance is observed with the named entities, and statisticians are more comfortable with the theoretical base of HMM. And liberty to manipulate the training and verification process is always there in HMM. Mathematical and theoretical analysis of the result and processes are observed very good, and it incorporates prior knowledge into the architecture with a good design. Initialize the model close to something believed to be correct. The model is initialized very close, that is also very correct, and it eliminates the label bias problem which exists in various other models. It also has been proved very effective for the number of other tasks such as speech recognition, handwritten recognition, and sign language recognition. And because each HMM uses only positive data, they can scale well since new words can be added without affecting learned HMMs. As advantages are there, disadvantages also are a part of the system. So some of the disadvantages of HMM are, in order to define a joint probability over observation and label sequence, HMM needs to enumerate all possible observation sequences. Main difficulty is modeling, one of the major issues with HMM. Modeling probability of assigning a tag to a word. This can be very difficult if words are very complex. And if it is still more complex, though, it could affect the results of the HMM. And it is not practical to represent multiple overlapping features and long-term dependencies. Number of parameters to be evaluated is very huge in HMM, and so it needs a large set of data for training, large data set for training, and it requires huge amount of training in order to obtain better results. So training period has to be very strong here and very big enough to see that better results could be obtained. HMMs only use positive data to train, and in other words, HMM training involves maximizing the observed probabilities, for example, belonging to a specific class, but it does not minimize the probability of observation of instances from other classes. It adopts Markov chain assumption, Markovian assumption, that the emission and the transition probabilities depend only on the current state. As we observe that current state makes an or emits an observation. So this does not map well to many real world domains. So these are some of the important questions for this specific topic. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to connect to me. This is my email ID, and thank you. We are done for today.